Yes, Dr. Armand Hall, who is assistant professor at the University of Memphis and associate director of bands. He's a person who is in charge of the band. We got to go to rehearsal today and watch Dr. Armand Hall talk about what was important to him for the big show tonight, in which all these high school band members will get to hear the sounds, mighty sounds of the South. And welcome here to banddirector.com. It's very nice to have you here.
Thank you. Glad to have you guys in town.
And how long have you been working with this band that we're going to hear tonight?
I'm in my second year here.
I see.
At the university. So.
And you were at Michigan State getting a doctorate
Yes.
in wind conducting.
Yes,
and
I was.
And so you're one of those people that you're bilingual. You can do the stand-up bands and sit-down bands, right?
Yes,
You
yes.
do both.
Yes, I do. Yes,
And
I do.
When you were at the University of Michigan as an undergrad, were you in the marching band?
Yes, I
at
was.
that time?
Yep,
Oh,
I was there from when was it? 97 through 2000.
Oh, wow. Busy times
Yes.
during that time. And this is a great stadium for you to present in.
We are so lucky to have this all the time. Every Saturday we come to this. You know, I grew up hearing about the Liberty Bowl as a bowl game.
Right.
But this is where we play every Saturday, and it's fantastic.
That's amazing. And 50 years of this band contest, too, which is a big tradition. And we're thinking about what it sounds like right now coming up in this direction to the press box. And in rehearsal today, you kept pointing up like this, up, up. And now we know why, because it's amazing that the small bands are getting up here, though.
Yeah.
Good listening facility. I think partly because it's surrounded completely. It helps to get the sound up here.
Yeah, and they've been playing in this stadium for so long. They know about getting up over the wall that's there and into the crowd. So they're more trained probably than we are.
I got it. And you probably think that it's not cold because you're used to Michigan.
No, it's
right?
not cold.
No, not at all. It's November, right? It's
Yeah,
supposed to be a lot colder right now. Isn't
Another
it?
thing to be very lucky about.
You know, it's really a pleasure for us to come and watch you rehearse today, and
Thank you.
and hear what's important to you in between the takes. You know, and when you were down on the field and everybody's listening to you. But I did notice people like march better and they stand up straighter as you flow through the band with your walkie-talkie tied to you. You know, nobody knows exactly where, and all of a sudden, there he is. You know, the boss is standing right next to me. I've never seen better tuba posture in my whole life, actually.
Well, I'm glad it works. I'm glad it works. No, our students here work really hard, and they definitely get up for this event because so many of them are performing for their home schools.
A lot of them probably decided to come here because of a performance they
Yes.
saw here. This
Yeah.
is 50 years of tradition. That's 4 years of high school of getting to come here if they're lucky. You
And
know.
they, you say 50 years of this program. It's also 50 years of our marching band having the name Mighty Sound of the South. So
Oh,
this is
wow.
a 50th anniversary all the way around. So we're very proud this year.
That's
wonderful.
really
That's
neat.
wonderful. So
Special.
we've got lots of people that are watching from all over the country. Can you tell us a little bit about the athletic band and then the rest of the band program at the University of Memphis?
Oh, yes, of course. The athletic band program here at the University of Memphis is on par with any large athletic program, where we've got our marching band that mainly serves the football stadium, and then we play for volleyball games. We also have a pep band, which is run by Professor Dan Calentarian, and they do our men's basketball, and they play down at the FedEx Forum.
Oh, wow.
So the students get
Oh,
to play down
sweet
there.
time,
That's
yeah.
also where the Grizzlies play, and then we also have a separate facility for our women's basketball. And then we do small run-out events all over the place. We're really an arm for the School of Music and the university as well. Whenever we need to represent, we're there.
Right.
So there's lots of performing opportunities for our students when they come here. And so we're always pushing to try to set a standard for ourselves and understand that, the high schools come here and they compete and they work on one show, but we're about playing as much as we can and providing entertainment for our audience, support for our teams, whoever we're playing for, and a great representation. So it's different than competing bands, but it's just as intense and hopefully just as fun.
Yeah. So how many different types of shows do you play in the fall? How many home games do you guys play for?
7 to 8, depending on our schedule.
Wow.
And
That's a
then we
lot of
go
home
to,
games.
we generally go to 2 away games, one and up and back for hopefully a regional competitor that we have. And then, for example, this year we're going to be at the Louisville game in November. So we take usually an overnight trip. So those are the experiences that our students get. And we try to do 3 to 4 shows a year, depending on how the season lays out.
Right.
We rehearse 3 days a week, 2 hours, and our students learn a lot, and they learn it really fast. so they're always pushing to make it better.
And
Right.
game day rehearsals like we saw today?
Yes, this is an example of a game day rehearsal.
It was wonderful, you know, when people do that, getting their feet on the ground like they were today, you know, saying, or on the AstroTurf, I guess it is. Yeah,
it's a beautiful field.
it was an orientation like this is it. You know, you can feel it. It's fun for us to get here early enough to see game day rehearsals and get some of that dress rehearsal feeling. You know, that's today's show time.
Yeah.
So you have so there's a lot of the marching band kids flow into the pep band.
Yes.
Here, and then do you have the school of music offer? I would imagine opportunities for the marching band kids that are non-majors to participate in a sit-down band.
Yeah, yes,
situation?
we have 3, if you want to, band ensembles. We have the wind ensemble, which is generally for grad students
Right.
and advanced undergrads, and then we have the symphonic band, which I conduct, which is a large concert ensemble, generally freshmen. We do have some non-majors in there who play well and want to continue to push themselves and do that. And we have the university band, which serves a multi-purpose for majors who are just working on it. We have a lot of music ed students that'll do secondary instruments in that.
Sure.
And then for the person who wants to continue to play but doesn't have time for the non-major.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
there's an experience here for you at the University of Memphis if you play an instrument and want to continue to play. And to be quite frank, there's also scholarship for you to be had if you play your instrument well enough and you want to continue to do it. We'll give you a chance to do that and give you some money so that you can come here and study whatever you want.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it is.
That's great.
We're very lucky to be able to do that, and we have such a wonderful institution that the choice of majors and quality of programs across the board is fantastic.
That's great.
And to be able to come and do that and still play your instrument and get some support.
Wonderful.
Great.
Do you guys do a wrap-up thing at the end of the year for the marching band, like a pass and review kind of a concert, or?
No, right now we don't. We end our year and we have our big marching band meeting, and then we have our band banquet. Now we're trying to work into a indoor concert
Something for the,
and a facility.
for the university.
Yeah, that would be great.
That's awesome. And then on the game day, in the game day experience, we're sitting here. Where do you guys? I mean, the audience can't see this.
See the
but,
you pull it
Oh yeah.
right over there. That V right there is our section.
Oh, that's
So our
great.
team, this is our team's locker room over here in the south tunnel. So we play for them, and where the Liberty Bowl and the Tiger is over there to the right, that's where our actual Bengal Tiger, Tiger Tom, who
Yep.
comes to our
Mascot.
games. That's where he stays.
That's
He
great.
hangs out over there.
That's great. So you guys have a nice connection then, and from the athletic perspective for the game day experience in terms of working with the mascot and the cheerleaders. And the
Yeah,
dance team and
we're
stuff
all
like that.
we're all one here to support Memphis. I mean, we go over during band camp and play for the football team and
Oh, wow.
socialize with them and make sure we know that we're there to support, and all the other teams. We just played a volleyball game, and the volleyball coach came up and was thanking all of the band members for being there to play.
That's
And we're
great.
always rehearsing with our cheer and palm, trying to make sure that it's a great experience for the fans that do come.
That's great. That's cool. So it's just like a regular marching band for the students that might be considering coming here. You guys have a band camp.
Yep.
Is it like a week? Is it a?
It's roughly a week and a half. We bring in the freshmen early so that they can work with the section leaders, and then we bring in everyone, and then it's trying to learn pregame and the start of the first show to get ready for the first game. And we were lucky this year that the first game was after Labor Day, so we had a little more time to get ready for it, so we could take our time learning pregame. But sometimes it's band camp is over and the first game is there. So when you come, we put you up in the dorms and we make sure you get 3 square meals a day. And that's our sort of thanking you for all the effort that you're getting ready to put in for the University of Memphis. And then we work hard. It's generally an 8 to 8 day. Working on music and feet and camaraderie and learning all the cheers so that when we go out and perform, we are looking our best to represent the university.
Absolutely.
And we're more of a core style, but marching band and in our bass, but we'll do anything that the crowd wants us to do to make sure that it looks great. So we perform a lot of pop music, we do a lot of movies, we have a lot of shorts, learn a lot of music for the stands that we don't play on the field. And then if you go into the pep band, you're learning a ton more.
Sure. I know one of the things we've talked. I do get a chance to go to quite a few universities in the fall. I was at Montana State, did a halftime show with them. I actually played. I was dressed up as the Wizard of Oz for a Wizard of Oz show.
Oh, nice.
They clipped a Z to my sousaphone bell, so when I stood there, it said Oz. And
Nice.
it was pretty wild. But I know that. So this is another comment just about the game day experience in terms of the band's role at a football game. And I know that a lot of the universities that I've been to, they're finding that the the jumbotron is tending to they're having to balance their ability to be able to do some of this stand work and play in the stands with the jumbotron and,
Right.
some of those things are going on. So are you finding that you're able to balance and because I know that like when I went to school, there were guys that liked to do the halftime show, but there were a lot of guys in the marching band that were in the marching band to do the stand tunes and to sort of really be a part of the crowd experience with the football team. So
Yeah.
how's that playing out here?
I think we balance it. We try to make sure that what we're playing in the stands is rotating enough, so we learn stand music throughout the year. So that we might be playing something now that we necessarily didn't play at the first couple of games,
Yeah.
but we're playing it now on top of the new show.
Sure.
And the fact that we are right now not doing a show every week, and so we are doing some cleaning in the way that we plan, it gives us more time to learn music.
Learn some stand tune music.
Right, and the jumbotron. I mean, it's about working with our athletics, and our athletic department is fantastic with working with us, with making sure that there is a balance, so that when it comes to music, we are the focus, and
Right.
they tell us if they need something, and we do our best to provide it for them. So we haven't had any sort of issues with
That's
that here.
great. That's great. That's great.
We're very
well,
lucky
I mean,
in that regards.
I know that when you get a really nice like this one,
That's a very nice board.
on modern board that they can do things sonically and visually that can be hard to compete with. But I think at the same time, music is like at every party, which a football game is.
Right.
That's the juice that gets things going. So if you're able to provide that sonic support, as it were, and
Right.
And then you're playing, must be playing some modern tunes then too, some modern
We
parties,
are.
people that the stuff that the student body is
Right.
digging.
That's one of our jobs, is to be here and to engage the student body. And doing that, we must be engaging in the music that they listen to. So, for example, we've done some Bruno Mars and some Daft Punk this year, things that they've heard on the radio, and we like that. And it's great for our grad students to get the practice in arranging that and learning how the licensing process works. So, it's all a part of our teaching and just being a full representative for the university.
That's awesome that you have involvement of the students on a creative level like that. And a good time. And so, like, when Gorilla gets to be a hit with Bruno Mars, that's it. It becomes a class assignment, right?
Yeah,
The winner gets out in the
somebody
stadium,
gets
right?
to do it. Yeah, somebody gets to arrange it, and then we'll play it.
Wow, that's fantastic. So
And
you
we have
keep
a lot of undergrads that like to try and do that too. So my colleague Dan Calantarian is a fantastic arranger. So he sits down with them and works with them on how to craft a good arrangement and what a good arrangement is, and then we play them.
That's
creativity at University of Memphis. That's awesome.
Lots of experiences.
Goes like that for the pep band too, for the basketball band.
Oh yes, oh yes.
In terms of the repertoire and
Their book is very thick. And it's always changing. And student involvement and Professor Calantarian is writing a lot, and sometimes I'll write, and our conducting grad students, they'll get involved with writing things because that's what we have to do.
yeah, we've both been involved with basketball band. It's like it's a bit like DJing a show when you're doing that because you're in all these little holes that you have to fill and keep the momentum and the energy in the arena going.
Right.
Happening.
And making sure at the same time, though, that you're recognizing the traditions at the university.
Yeah.
So that it's not all pop music.
For sure.
There are things that when you come here to University of Memphis, just like every other school, there's some songs that you're going to know and some cheers that you're going to know to do because we've been doing them for a long time.
Yeah. I always love that too when I get a chance to go around the different bands and see what everybody's doing and in terms of the cheers and what the sections do and the funny traditions that happen and some of the things. I was at when George Parks was alive and he was a director at the Marching Minuteman at the University of Massachusetts in Amherst, and I did his band day every year for 4 or 5 years in a row.
Okay.
And it was, I think it was really an excuse for George to get together with somebody in golf in the middle of the fall during the week. But we were doing this show, and it's the third year that I was there, so the band was really familiar with me because they saw me every year at band day, and I'd be there for the whole week rehearsing and golfing and hanging out with George. And so we were in the press box at halftime after the show, and it's band day, so there were 3,000 kids there for their band day that would just come and play with the band, the college band, not like a competition, but like a normal, football band day, and so that was all done, and all the parents and everybody are sitting in the stands, and we're talking to the provost in the box, and George, who was kind of red-faced anyway, he completely turns totally pale, and he's like, "I'm sorry, Madam Provost, we have to go right now." And so we left, and as we're walking back towards the marching band, the typical third quarter, the band has their jackets off, and they're just in their bibs and their T-shirts. The sousaphone section had taken duct tape and taken one letter of my name on each chest and spelled Patrick Sheridan out across the top, and then they were changing orders to spell other words.
Oh, no.
Dang, there's a lot of words in that you could use for a lot of letters. I had no idea that you could use those in like that and make those words. So anyway, George saw this happening and went and had to go stop it because the list was getting it was way past PG. It was way past PG-13.
Understood.
And but it was really fun. And so the whole time, I went, of course, right up to the sousaphone section. And was like, okay, well, George was yelling at the band. I was like, give me the list. I need to see the list because I need to know what else my name turns into. And so he got done dressing the band down. And we sat down, and he's a tuba player. George is a tuba player. So I knew he thought it was funny, but there's no way he could tell the band that it was funny, right? So he turns around, and I hand him the list like this, and I was like, try not to shake from laughter when you read this. And I gave the rest of the list, and he's like, the tears were streaming down his face. He's trying to stay still so nobody would know that he wasn't actually angry because it was so funny.
Yeah.
So just so you know, when we're back next year, and the sousaphone section's got duct tape on their chest.
I'll be ready. I'll be ready.
No spelling. No spelling.
We'll have inspections early that day.
Those kind of things can happen. So did you march in high school?
No, I did not.
So you're like us. We didn't either.
No, I did not. The marching band at my high school was really good. Cass Tech in Detroit, and I did not do it. I was in every other band we had.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went to Michigan, and I was like, well, I'm going to try marching band, and fell in love with it and that great program we had there.
Sure.
And then got to be a part of the Spartan marching band as a grad student, and just a phenomenal job that John Madden is doing there, and it's amazing. So now I get to try to emulate in a way the great programs that I've seen and try to keep the Memphis tradition strong here.
You're an uber Michigander. You went to Cass Tech, University of Michigan, and Michigan State. That's unbelievable.
Yes.
And
how'd you get rid of the
storied
accent?
program.
People in Michigan don't have accents.
Holy crap! What are you talking about? I don't have accents in Michigan. Dave Knox, come on over. You get on camera.
What's for lunch today?
No, wait a minute now. Come on.
Armand, ask him what he had. He's in Memphis.
What'd you
He
eat?
had vegan barbecue.
Vegan.
It's a plate of air with a bun.
I guess so.
That's what it was. It was good.
It's on the list with decaf cappuccino.
I got a vegetarian Whopper one time, and it was just everything but the patty.
But the Whopper.
Yeah.
Where's the beef? Wow, that's something. But so you had this fantastic education, and
I was very fortunate.
And a tradition, and then you come down here, and it's about upholding a 50-year, more than 50-year band tradition at this school. So that's really neat. I mean, you had to be a quick study to get all of this together.
I'm still learning.
Especially the pregame show that we're going to see
Yes.
at the end of things today. That's always that's where the tradition lies,
And it's it's just portions of it because there's a lot of fan interaction that we do, and we're not going to do the Star Spangled Banner since it's the last thing we've done already, or the school alma mater. But a lot of the big sets that we do, and spelling out Memphis, spelling out Tigers, those sort of things. Marching the M up and down the field. It is definitely a very tradition-driven pregame show. And then at halftime, we get to do lots of different things, and today will be Earth, Wind, and Fire.
It's going to be great. I think that's, great university marching band programs. It's both of those things, and the pregame thing is that's where the tradition is. Mm-hmm. You've got alumni that come back that haven't been back to the school for 35 years, and there's certain things that they expect to see and hear.
Right.
And when they do, they're connected immediately back to those moments that they were a student in the school. I think that was my message to your band this morning when we got a chance to talk to them on the field. It's like, when you're out there playing that school fight song that you might have played like 65 times during the course of 2 football games.
Right.
The impact of that music is having an enormous emotional impact on somebody that's hearing it in the stadium or hearing it at a pep rally or something like that. That means a lot to the university, long term.
Right.
And that's I think for me, with sort of the older, balder man perspective, is like that's what a university marching band does for a university.
Yes, I completely.
It's not
agree.
Just music at a football game. It's way past that.
No, it is legacy.
Yeah.
And tradition. And that's why fight songs don't change. That's why alma maters don't change.
Exactly. Although those of us from Michigan would wish that the Notre Dame fight song might just like diminuendo.
Or maybe NBC would just stop.
They just call it tacit.
Right. Right.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
No,
I hear no.
you hear no argument from me.
Go blue, go
That's
blue,
right,
go blue.
Hey, there's a big football game. Don't put me on TV like that. There's a big football game today.
Indeed.
Yep.
So okay, so if I'm a high school senior and I'm kind of come to the University of Memphis and I'm going to be busy with a whole bunch of stuff on campus, but I really like my marching band experience or even concert band experience from when I was in high school. And I show up to campus and I'm inundated with all the stuff that's going on, and I don't, how many kids go to University of Memphis? How many students here?
23,000.
Right, so 23,000 students. I'm one of 23,000, and I'm 18, and I show up. How do I get a hold of you guys when I get here? How do I find out about Memphis bands when I come here? If I'm one of those, sort of I'm here for engineering, or I'm here for communication, or here for any major that's not music, how do I run into this other than coming to a football game and going, oh yeah, band, cool.
Well, you'll see us around. We'll be around campus, but before the school year starts, you're going to call our office number 901-678-BAND,
Right.
and talk about signing up and doing an audition. We have the School of Music website, which is just the memphis.edu/music, and you'll find the marching band information on there. We're on Facebook. You can find us there. We actually have a Twitter account as well, MSS 2013. That you can start to follow, and that's where we put out a lot of our information. But our Facebook will let you know what we're doing, like what's the weekly show and pictures from what's going on. And you can email me at avhall@memphis.edu, and I'll email you back, and we'll set up an audition.
You guys
And
getting that? Are you guys getting that out there?
At least come and try it.
Yeah, exactly.
901-678-BAND.
There we go. Wow, that's nice.
901-678-BAND.
You can't beat
That's
it.
awesome.
That's
that you
great.
got that. And you know what? You're a very exciting teacher. And you're very excited about being here. So the only thing is I was going to ask you what's more important to you, blue or green? You're on the blue now. You're playing the blue chip now.
Wow.
It's like Memphis is blue.
Go Tigers. Go Tigers. Cut to commercial. Go Tigers.
Yeah.
Go Tigers.
It's fun to have you pinned down on the day when your two schools are playing each other today.
Wow.
And they're one number apart in the rankings. Did you notice that? Or did
My
you
school is the University of Memphis. Go Tigers. Go Tigers. And I wish both of those teams in Michigan good luck. I tell you what, both bands are going to put on a spectacular performance today in East Lansing. That I do know.
Yes, absolutely.
That I do know.
Indeed,
Absolutely,
indeed, that's
and-
for sure.
and
It's been a fun fall actually. The little bit of the Michigan and Ohio State.
Yeah, that has been very
rivalry
interesting.
It's been really fun to watch.
And the great thing about it that it's so accessible. Like on Sunday mornings, I can get up and watch both shows.
Right, exactly.
On YouTube and see what they did and have that experience. And I'm glad that the internet is starting to involve marching bands, or the marching bands are getting involved with the internet, so that we can connect with more fans.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, that's why we're doing this at banddirector.com.
Yeah, and I appreciate banddirector.com for being here.
The Wizard of BandDirector.com.
Yes, Dave Knox.
Dave Knox. He never comes out to say hello. He's the man behind the
Armand
curtain.
and I always talked at MSU, backstage.
That's right. That's right.
When he found out where he was going, we're going to stay connected. Here we are.
Well, thank you for staying connected.
No, and
This
thank
is
you
very
guys for
important
coming.
because there's an added value to it. The live audience that's at the show has now got a web audience that's thousands of people are watching from far away.
Mm-hmm.
A parent from San Diego who's now in San Diego for the weekend needed to know when the band was going to go on so they could go out to the beach and the zoo or whatever they're going to do in
Wow.
San Diego and hit the show.
And that's great for our students. I mean, all of the high schools that show here today, they've worked so hard to put forth a product, and to have people be able to appreciate that and enjoy it is very, very special.
Absolutely. Well, I know when we had a couple today, there were some groups from California and Arizona. Today's the Arizona State Marching Band Championships, and they're 2 hours behind us. So they were, they were watching the first couple of bands before they were getting ready to go join their band and go to state marching band. So they were checking in and saying it's cool to watch this, and I can't wait to. We'll be done, and they'll be back to see you guys perform tonight. And but it's music educators, families, band geeks from all over tune in to check this out. So it's great to be involved and to have your involvement. And for those of you that are watching, 9:45 tonight.
We'll be there.
MSS
Central Time.
2013. Central Time. We're going to hear some Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. I dig the different styles of bands. That your cymbal line is something to watch. They
got some moves.
They got some moves
And
for
some
sure.
sounds. They
Our
got it
drum
going
line
on. They
is
play long tones with cymbals. I was impressed by that.
Our drum line is really good, and Zeke David, our drum line instructor, he's worked really hard, and he's actually a Memphian. So it's great to keep that tradition. He was in the line, and now he's in charge of it, and that's
great.
really important to me to be able to keep that going for
Yeah,
him.
absolutely. That's got to be fun.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we noticed too about that. This is one of the few band shows across the country that's run by the band. It's the University of Memphis Alumni Association. The band chapter is heavily
Yes.
involved. So you've got alumni watching this for 50 years.
Yeah,
making
they
sure
do
this
all the
continues.
heavy lifting. So I mean, it's a very community oriented event. And, I came down here and I learned about what the Mid South is, and we really hope to serve the Mid South. All of the schools are in this area. This is your event.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Sam, you want to do the intro? On
This
next band
is
coming up here?
great of you to visit with us,
thank
and
you. I
you've taken
appreciate
us
the
all the
time.
way to the Class AA. Powerful show. And while they were playing the show, we were talking about horn sounds, and you were talking about a youth project that you had that's really a valuable asset to the area.
Right. Well, we were starting with, we're calling it the Tiger Youth Wind Ensemble, and it's going to be on Sundays. And the high school students in the area from Arkansas, Mississippi, and Tennessee can come in and
Fantastic.
rehearse with our faculty and our grad students, and we'll put one concert on a semester, and they'll play with another one of our ensembles. This semester will be the Wind Ensemble, just to provide other musical opportunities for our students in the area.
But a beautiful thing to come and sit with people that are as serious as you are about your instrument.
Yeah.
What a great opportunity to meet up
And making
with
sure that
other
there's
musicians.
chamber groups there. One of the things that each kid will have an opportunity to play in chamber groups
Oh,
while they're
that's
there.
awesome.
So just adding those experiences to the repertoire before they move on.
and that's the rarest of high school experiences is the small bands.
Yeah.
And speaking of